It's opening night in Rochester, Cabela's Sports Stadium, where the Rochester Rhinos will have their 22nd all-time home opener, and they host their rival, New York Red Bulls 2, with former Liga MX and MLS player Eddie Rodriguez. I am Matt Peterson. Tonight, it's the last two champions in the USL, last year's champions, Red Bull 2, against the 2015 champion, the Rochester Rhinos. Eddie, that basically sums up the billing.
That's right, Matt. Two teams, they know each other pretty well. Two of the great franchises in the U.S. Of course, the New York Red Bulls with a lot of tradition now. The Rhinos, even more tradition because they've been around longer. They even won the Open Cup in '99. I expect a great match because they played 10 times already. Pretty close games.
All right, now the star player for the New York Red Bulls 2, it's Vince Bezecourt. Already has 4 goals in 5 games this season.
Well, I'll tell you what, Matt, Bezecourt's been on fire. Just, you see it right there. He's tied the league right now in goals, but more than that, what he brings out of the midfielder, that transition going forward, he's the catalyst going forward, and right now he's on fire, so he's hot. He's looking to keep that streak going.
And the star player for the Rhinos, 24-year-old out of Frankfurt, Germany, Wall.
One of the things that Bob Louie told me about him is just his work ethic, his commitment to get the work done going forward, coming back. He's more of a midfielder, but once again, for the Rhinos, he's that player that is going to get him going forward.
And now the starting lineup for Red Bulls 2, it's their ubiquitous 4-3-3 formation.
Well, you know, they're playing away. I like the fact that John is going with 3 on top, showing that the Rhinos, that he's coming here to get the business done. You know, going 3 forwards, of course. When you see the 3 in the middle, a lot of ground to cover when you're playing against a team that's going to come up with, you know, a 4-5-1. So for them, even though they're playing away, I like the fact that they're looking to attack.
And now the home team, the Rochester Rhinos, a 4-5-1 formation under Bob Lilly.
And of course, know Bob Lilly pretty well. He's going to come out of the back, and that's why he's got those semi-flat back 4. He's got 5 in the middle. Now, keep in mind, Francois, number 6, and Defricker out wide. They're going to get to the inland. They're going to provide some crosses for Madison to put him in. And of course, Forbes as a trailing striker. It's a good match.
Rochester has won 5 of its last 6 home openers, including a 2-0 victory over the Red Bulls 2 in 2015. Kickoff from Rochester coming up next.
This is my comeback. It's not the story I had planned. But what's a game without opponents? What's an obstacle course without obstacles? What's life if you don't have stuff to overcome? Comebacks make you stronger. They make you tougher. They leave you with cool scars and awesome stories. Your injuries make you. Your setbacks define you. A broken bone is stronger than ever once it mends. So I may be down, but I'm not out. I may be hurt, but I'm not through. I'm just writing a better story than I planned.
Share your comeback story. Visit urmedicine.org.
Multiple concussions actually put people at risk for early dementia. It's kind of like Alzheimer's with a kind of paranoid, angry edge to it. So we've been trying to develop a blood test for concussion so we can say yes or no. You had a concussion, yes or no. Hopefully, early diagnosis equals early treatment and prevention of dementia down the line.
Focus. It's hard to keep. Everybody wants a piece of you. So don't lose it. Take your time. Work hard. Don't give up. And when your moment comes, breathe through and focus.
Cabela's Sports Stadium, Rochester, New York. It's the Rhinos hosting New York Red Bulls 2 in the home opener for Rochester, their 22nd in their franchise history dating back to 1996. With Eddie Rodriguez, I'm Matt Peterson. Eddie, you know both these coaches pretty well as we look at John Wolyniec and Brian Lillis. Bob Lilly, I should say. Give us your thoughts on each manager.
Yeah, no, it's, we talked about being a good match. Both coaches are very experienced. Both of them play at a high level, and they bring that experience into the field now that they're coaching. So both coaches are very methodical, the way they're going to come out. They like to keep possession of the ball. A little bit different. We're going to see a couple of different formations today. But just remember, when you're away, the home team might have the advantage. So for Bob Lilly, he's going to play the style that he's used to, so I expect a great match between the two.
Now you see a ceremonial kickoff. Rochester will come out in the whites. New York Red Bulls will be in blue. And Eddie, Red Bulls too, they've only been in existence now for their 3rd year, but they've beaten every single team they've faced in USL but the Rochester Rhinos. 8 all-time meetings, never beat them, but after a tie, they won in a penalty shootout last year in the playoffs. So a slight asterisk, but Rochester's had their number.
Yeah, you're right. You talk about it, and that's why I say it's going to be a good rivalry because of that. Two teams, they know each other well. And as you know, man, as a player and as a coach, once you have that certain thing that you can't get rid of, you can't beat a team for whatever reason. I know it was in overtime last year, so you can say, well, it doesn't count. Of course, it counts for standing purposes. But once again, you gotta figure out how to beat them right in the play during the game. And I think New York is looking forward to just coming in here. I like the fact they're coming in here with 3 forwards. I'll tell you that. That to me is just showing right there, Rochester Rhinos, we're here to play, and we're here to win the game, not just to compete or sit back against a great Rochester team. Now remember, Rochester's coming to 1-1-1, meaning that they went on the road 3 games, so it's tough. I think to be 500 at this point is pretty good. We spoke to Bob Lilly early in the week, and he said, you know what, if you would have told me 1-1-1, I would take it. Not what we're shooting for. It's not, think that he's not the type of coach who likes to go on the road and win games. However, you'll take it for what it is. First home opener for Rhinos right now.
Red Bulls too snapped a very rare 2-game losing streak. Their last time out, they had a 3-1 win against Orlando City B. And as you mentioned, Eddie, a very difficult road trip to start the year with 2 very difficult environments. A draw at Toronto FC and the aforementioned 5-0 loss at Charleston, 2 of the longest tenured sides in USL going back to their A-League days.
Well, we're going to just say lost to Charleston. We're not going to put a score right next to that because it got away from them really quick. And one of the things that Bob Lilly pointed out so well and so eloquently and said, you know what, they punished us. When other teams were not able to put them away, Charleston came out, they were on, and anytime we give them something, they put it in the back of the net, they punished us, and before you know it, the score is, I think it's 4-0 at halftime when you come back. And I give credit to Bob Lilly because in the second half, he could have changed the system and say, look, it's not working, let me get some 3 subs. Instead, he kept trying to say, yeah, guys, you know what, let's stick to the system, might as well try it. I had a chance to play in Charleston for a year, beautiful stadium, great facility, so for them to go into that environment, they packed the stadium as well, and just the second half, if you look at a 1-0 game, that's pretty close. That's pretty good. I like that.
Our referee tonight is Jeff Gamble. He'll be assisted by Brian Dunn and Democratis Pashalidis, the 4th official, Lauren Dearman. A lot of pomp and circumstance this week. The City Hall and other big downtown buildings in Rochester were lit up in Rhino green to celebrate the 22nd all-time home opener for the Rhinos dating back to 1996. And as we said in the opening, they've won 5 of their last 6, including a 2-0 win against Red Bulls 2 years ago that launched their sensational 19-game unbeaten streak to start the season.
Well, I'll tell you what, I got a chance to play against the Rhinos 98, 99, 2000s, and that was back in the day when they used to play in the baseball stadium. But I tell you what an atmosphere. As a player, you look forward to go play against Rochester because you knew you were going to play in a full house. And of course, they had a great team as well, so that's the year when they won the Open Cup in '99, and just what a great team they had.
Underway from Capelli Sports Stadium. It's the Rhinos in white attacking right to left. Red Bulls 2 in blue and yellow attacking left to right with Eddie Rodriguez. I'm Matt Peterson.
Right after back, the Rhinos, you can tell they're going to go forward. Going to look to attack. Good build up out of the back. Ball gets played into the space. We have the first corner kick for the Rhinos.
That was Evan Loro, 21-year-old, signed with Red Bull's first team in January as a homegrown player after a great career at Michigan. So he came off his line tested early, and a corner kick early for Rochester. Low and driven, cleared.
Yeah, Forbes didn't strike the ball quite as well as he wanted to. Outswinger, actually. You normally would put a left-footed player to in-swing it.
And a goal kick coming to the Red Bulls. Let's get to the starting lineup for Red Bulls 2 under John Walenick, 40-year-old former MLS man who has been with the Red Bulls, starting with their academy, and now the Red Bulls 2 head coach since 2010 after retiring as a player. Loro's in goal, Justin Bilyeu, David Abador, Hassan Endem, and David Najem across the back. Arun Basulovic, Vincent Bezecourt, and Dan Metzger, the midfield three. Zico Lewis, Brandon Allen, and Florian Velo, the front three for the Red Bulls. Rochester on the front foot to start, and cleared away. And we'll quickly get to the Rochester Rhinos starting lineup of 4-5-1. Tomas Gomez, the goalkeeper, Brandon Camden Faywo, Joseph Farrell, Ryan Felix, and Ryan James across the back. An appeal for a penalty, and that's waved off by the referee Jeff Gamble. And it's another Red Bull goal kick. Canardo Forbes, Mike Garzi, Wallfall, Stefan DeFreger, and Cristiano Francois, the five in the midfield. Darius Madison is the man up front. And Eddie, we talked with Coach Lilly this week. He said it's primarily a 4-1-4-1 formation or a 4-2-3-1. So we'll see how this midfield five sets up.
Yeah, and I think the difference is going to be, depending on how the three across for the Rhinos sets up. If they're having success, they're going to keep it with a five. If not, they might just bring that the last midfielder to play a little more behind, more of a defensive center mid, just sitting the hole right there, providing a little bit of depth for the center mids as well. But know that Bob Lilly is huge on certain core values, and one of them is playing defense, solid defense, and just the way you prepare for games, you play defense first, and then you go at the attack.
Just underway, 4th minute from Rochester. The Rhinos hosting New York Red Bulls 2. Red Bulls 2 in blue, Rochester in white. And you throw in David Najem, another homegrown product from the Red Bull Academy. Service towards the top of the box, cleared away by the Rhinos. Nice work on this near side. That was Bradley Camden Faywo from France, a 22-year-old.
Hassan Adoum just, using that huge frame he's got, just climbed the ladder over the top. He got called for the foul. And just watching the way he comes out of the back, just huge presence in the back for the Red Bulls. He pretty much starts everything out of the back as far as winning the balls, and then he's just going to distribute out of the back. Great job in the back for him.
A good chance in behind. Rochester looking for the opener, and well defended in the end by New York.
Defreger just doing a good job getting behind that defense on the outside. We talked about Rochester playing with those 5 across midfielders. That's going to give you the options. Of course, you have Forbes on the right and Defreger on the left, trying to get behind the defense, trying to get some early crosses into the box, trying to find Madison. Darius Madison is their number. He plays like a number 9. He's 21 in the jersey, but he plays like a traditional number 9.
A good look at Evan Loro from South River, New Jersey. 3 years in Michigan, had a goals against average of 1.17 with the Wolverines. Allen, last year's USL Cup final MVP, a hat trick as Red Bulls 2 won their first ever USL crown, a 5-1 win against Swope Park Rangers. He also had the decisive equalizing penalty in the 119th minute in the Eastern Conference semifinal. A heartbreaker for Rochester as they had a 3-2 lead in extra time through Wallfall. Here come the Red Bulls. 3 against 4 in the box, and a clearing header. That was Joseph Farrell.
And that's what's going to be one of the keys for Rochester, just not losing the ball in transition. You see how quick they throw the ball, they play the through ball. They're able to get behind the defense for the Rhinos. Early cross, good chance. This is the first chance. Left-footed in-swinger.
Decent look that time, but it was headed wide. Florian Velo, previously with AS Monaco 2 and Rider University in New Jersey. Spent time with the Red Bulls U23s last year.
One of the three in the front for the Red Bulls. Valo, the ball has to be a little more paced. You got to drive that ball into the penalty spot, invite the goalkeeper out, which is the reason why you want the left-footed in-swinger.
Rochester goes short from their goalkeeper, Tomas Gomez. And it's recovered in midfield. Vincent Bezecourt, already 4 goals this season.
And that's a player that I really want him to get the ball. Bezecourt, definitely one of the most outgoing players from the Red Bulls, especially going at the attack, even though he's playing a little more defensive. I want him to come get the ball, turn, play the through ball, but you got to show him you want the ball, especially when there's so many legs in the middle, playing 5 across for the Rhinos, playing 3 across for the Red Bulls. You got to come and get the ball.
Here's Bezecourt spinning through midfield. Slips it wide here. Najem. High looping service and a good claim, Tomas Gomez.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. Bezecourt comes, gets the ball, plays a grade the ball out wide. Not the best cross, however. He could have taken 2 touch, sent it to the far post, but once again, Bezecourt is the one who made it all happen.
Third start for Gomez, a 23-year-old from Montemorelos, Mexico. 4 years at Georgetown. Rhinos pushing forward. Good strength in midfield. That was Velo. But Rhinos get numbers back very quickly.
And that's one of the things I was telling you about Bob Lilly. You know, when you have a coach who's always going to tell you play defense first, that's what's going to happen. If you see that that shape in the back, the flat 4, it's very disciplined. So you're not going to you're trying not to let anything get behind you, and that's the way to defend right away. The closest to the ball is going to put pressure. The second one is going to provide coverage, and then you have the balance coming from the outside players as well.
Game opening up in the 9th minute. Rochester pushing forward. Bradley Camden on this near side. Lauro a little slow to react. He finally gets there.
Yeah, Defringer with a cheeky little flick right there, trying to put his forward on. One touch in the box.
New York does well, switching the point of attack to this right side. Najem. David Najem. At EBC, Red Bulls like to keep it on the ground using this turf, intricate passing.
Well, that's what you want to see, especially when you have Najem played out wide. You want him to stay all the way to the touchline, providing some width for the team. Your left mid, it's all the way to the other touchline, so you're really getting 80 yards of width. And that's once you ping the ball around, then you try to get the ball to the forwards and try to get behind the defense with a 1-2 on top of the box.
And there's the pressure Red Bulls like to do. They like to pick their spots, win to press forward, and they win the ball back. Vasulovic.
He's one player who's been kind of quiet. We expect him to get the ball as well. He moves around a lot, which I like, especially out of a center mid.
Vasulovic leads the USL with 318 attempted passes so far this season. And completing those passes at an 81% clip.
And that tells you what kind of player he is. Always the ball at his feet, and that's what you want in your center mids. The ball has to go through the center mid, whether you're playing the ball out wide or not.
Bradley Camden Fayewo. Flag is down. Chance here for Rochester. And a hard tackle at the back.
That's a great ball into the space to Mike Garcia. Makes a great run to the outside. Doesn't quite get to cross the ball, though, but good idea. And that's what you want from Rochester. Just send the ball out wide, get to the inline, get some early crosses, and, of course, they get a corner kick out of this chance. Once again, you see the Garcia trying to get to that ball. And great tackle by the big man on top from the Red Bulls, Hassan Nadoum.
Short off the corner kick. Delivery into the area, punched away. Good goalkeeping once again. Kept alive. Drew was punched out by Loro. Danger not cleared. Canardo Forbes. And Red Bulls 2 finally breaks away as Wallfall tracks back. And Rhinos win it in the offensive half. And David Najem.
Yeah, Bensico was coming out of the back from the Red Bulls, but you cannot lose the ball in transition because you see how quickly the Rhinos are going to close the gap and the space. So if you're coming out of the back with the ball under control, you got to find feet or you got to play the ball into the space.
Najem reads it well once again. And the Red Bulls settle with Velo. So Eddie was, go ahead.
No, you see how deep Velo has to come get the ball. You know, even though he's playing on top, it's almost like an attacking center mid because he's getting to get the ball so deep, and that's, you know, a testament to how good Rochester is playing, especially with a 5 across. That means that Velo's not getting space behind, so he's got to come back and get the ball. But by the time he gets the ball, he's still 50 yards away from the Rhinos' goal. So that's a great job by the defensive scheme from Bob Levy.
Well, Lilly was honest this week talking about the 5-0 loss. He said he might have tinkered too much after the first 2 games on the road trip, maybe changed the lineup too much and tried some things that maybe they weren't ready for. So as a player, how do the players respond this week after the coach admits that and maybe gets back to the basics here in the home opener?
Listen, I think it's great that Bob Lilly just, you know, went back, took a look at the video and realized that he might have made too many changes. And, you know, I got to tell you what, you give him credit because he's aware of what's going on, and he's willing to say, you know what, guys, it's on the coaching staff. And I believe, and I quote, he said that it's on the coaching staff. We could have done better. We tried to play a little bit different, too many changes, and at the end of the day, just we were not ready to play against a team like Charleston, rather. And you know what, Charleston just punished us. Any chance we give them something, they were able to put it away and capitalize on their chances.
There's Loro. He won the Under-16 Development Academy Championship with the Red Bulls Academy in 2012. Had the second best goals against average in Michigan men's soccer history at 1.05.
Hassan Nadoum in that tackle right there. He gets the worst out of it. That was collision with Darius Madison, and it's a 50-50 ball, but both players are going for it. And of course, Madison was, as we see the replay right here, Madison is looking at the ball, so he never looks at the defender, and that's how you can tell it's not a foul. Both players are looking at the ball. And of course, I think Hassan Nadoum got a little bit the worst end of that. Of course, he's being checked out by the trainers, make sure the concussion protocol for him to make sure they can stay in the game, and there's nothing going on upstairs.
And Dom, I think high hopes for the Red Bulls first team. He was signed in January, a full transfer from Rainbow FC Bermuda in Cameroon. He's only 18, but playing with the Cameroonian U20 national team. And this is his 5th start with Red Bulls 2 this season. Big 6'4" center back.
Well, he's got great physical presence. You know, that's what you want a center back from that side, just to win the air balls. And anything around there he can clean out. But I tell you what, for being that big of a man, he's pretty good with his feet as far as the distribution on the ground. It's definitely an asset for the Red Bulls.
Of course, New York, the first team, as good as they've been over the last few years. Some would say one of their weaknesses has been stability at center back. Since they sold Matt Miazga to Chelsea a few years ago, has had a few different players in there. So a young 18-year-old can develop with Red Bulls too.
Yeah, and I think that's the idea, to bring some young talent, put them in the in the USL, the Red Bulls too, and really let them develop to what the American game is like, to the physicality of it, to how much running you do. It's definitely different in other countries, and some players are not used to it.
And Dom back on the field and playing it forward. No great scoring chances just yet, but a relatively open game. Both teams finding space in midfield. Eddie Rodriguez.
Well, kind of what we expected when we expected a match of, just a lot of battling, especially right there in the middle of the pitch, where I think this game is going to be decided, because whoever can get a hold of that middle and start getting balls to the forwards, I think they're going to create more chances and therefore be successful. However, you see how many legs they are in just such a close proximity. So it's going to be tough to connect those passes. You got to use the width, you got to get out, use your fullbacks, send them forward, and try to get behind the defense for either team.
And Dom. Long ball forward. Targeting Florian Velo. One back by Red Bulls 2. Psycho Lewis on the far side. Already 8 caps with Bermuda. And we see the blocks of 4 for Rochester.
Yeah, just very concise, doing a great job. The spacing in between those center backs, it's nice and close, nice and tight. So you don't want to give up those, those lanes in between the center backs so they can play the through ball for New York to get behind. So great job once again. We knew it was going to be that kind of a tactical game for Bob Lilly and the Rhinos. Play defense first, stay home, win the ball, and then see what we can muster ahead, at the attack.
And Dom has shown no ill effects since leaving the field. He stepped in front to win that pass. He's been a presence here in the first 18 minutes.
Yeah, just great presence, just knowing to anticipate every time he steps in front of that number forward. Of course, Madison, the forward for Rochester, just doing a good job not letting him post up, hold on to the ball, lay it off, and then look for the spin-off. So, good job from him and just reading everything out of the back.
That pass too heavy from David Abador, playing in front of David Najem. Valesky and Dos Santos, the 2 primary forwards for Rochester. And Eddie, we talked with Bob Lilly, the head coach for the Rhinos, and he didn't downplay the fact that they've been great for the Rhinos the last few years, but he thinks they'll be okay. He wants more production from this midfield.
Yeah, it's just a matter of when you have new players, as you say, they lost Valesky and Santos as well.
Here's a chance for Red Bulls too. Brandon Allen trying to get forward, but squeezed off by 2 at the back. That was Farrell and Felix doing a good job against last year's #2 goal scorer in the USL. 15 regular season goals for Allen.
Yeah, Allen was trying to pinch the ball at the end, trying to get a corner kick off the Rhinos. Just good job defensively. But you're right, though. Once you have, and when we spoke to Bob Lilly and said, you're pretty happy with what you have, for the remainder of the season, he said, absolutely. It's one of those things where we just got to get, remember, it's only been 3 games, so there's plenty of time for this team to get acclimated, start getting some of that chemistry with the 1-2s and getting behind the defense to score some goals.
Offside flag comes up. The last 2 last 2 USL Cup final champions, Red Bulls 2 last year and Rochester in 2015. Meeting here tonight in a Rhinos home opener with Eddie Rodriguez. I'm Matt Peterson. Great work in midfield. Canardo Forbes, the Jamaican. Rhinos, a good opportunity here, but it just slipped underneath the foot of Forbes.
He knows that touch in the final third. Forbes with a great job bringing the ball out of the back. There we see him with the ball once again. He's getting to wake up a little bit. He's been more of a decisive player in the middle, getting the ball, just making some runs.
Good defending on the far side from Red Bulls 2. Forbes has played every minute this season for Bob Lilly in Rochester, 28 years old from Jamaica. Played every game last year, 3 goals, 4 assists. Rochester, so much stability. 20 trips to the playoffs in their 21 seasons.
No, definitely one of the best franchises in the U.S. And what we said, if there was another going to be a franchise going to the MLS, should have been them. They have all the qualities and the fans as well. I mean, you don't play in Rochester, just great fans and support the team. Of course, as I said early, 99, they won the Open Cup.
Here comes Red Bulls 2. Bezecourt wide on this right side. Back to the middle, and it's pulled wide. Vincent Bezecourt's been on the mark this year. 4 goals in 5 games. A good chance there from just inside the top of the box.
Great chance. You know, you talk about getting to the inline. Vincent Bezecourt with a great chance right there, right top of the 18. Does not make good contact with the ball. The far post was wide open because Gomez came out and was looking at the near post. Bezecourt probably the best chance of this game so far. Once again, it all starts out of the back. Good cross right here. And just did not actually get a hold of the ball. Give credit to Valo with a good cross right there.
The French connection, Eddie, and I think Valo has been maybe the most influential Red Bull 2 player in this first 22 minutes going forward.
Yeah, no, I like the fact that he comes back and gets the ball, you know, going forward, and he's looking to play that through ball. He was on that time. I stand corrected. I think the Open Cup for the Rhinos was in 98.
99, you were right. They won a league title in the A-League back in 98, but they were the U.S. Open Cup champion in 99. Of course, the only non-MLS team to win it since MLS started in 96.
Oh, then I was right. Okay.
Here we go, a chance here. And it's pulled high and wide, Florian Valo.
And once again, Valo with a good chance, but the fact that he's getting the ball right outside the box, that's a good sign. You know, you want to have different tries. Not the best shot right there. He totally got under it, and of course, as we mentioned, they're playing this beautiful turf. You know, some players don't like it. I'm not a huge, I really don't like turf, but in a place like Rochester, you're not going to be able to keep a great feel year-round because of the snow. So this is the best they can do, and of course, this is great quality turf.
David Najem clears. Bouncing through midfield and taking no chances was David Abador. Abador, last season with Tulsa Roughnecks out of Northbrook, Illinois. Eddie Rodriguez, we talked with Coach Lilly, we've mentioned the 5-man midfield. One thing you did say this week is the strength of our team right now is the midfield.
No, I agree with that. When you talk about players that can make some runs, you know, out of the middle, go forward, you know, you have Francois, Forbes has made some great runs today. A couple of good crosses from the right side, and of course you have DeFregger as right. Just, you know, that's a good nucleus right there. That's something you can build the team from. And I think he's right when he says right now the nucleus players who have a little more experience, especially playing together and trying to get you know, some chances here for the Rochester Rhinos.
Rhinos consistently winning the ball in midfield as they pressure Red Bulls 2, which likes to play it out of the back, build slowly. John Wallenick, their head coach, talked about their attack. They want to be efficient, they want to be ruthless, pick the right time to press, and then be very direct when they win the ball. But when they play from their own goal box, they want to be deliberate, as we see here, and try to pull out the defense.
Yeah, you see him being a little more deliberate here, just bringing the ball out of the back. But also, I think what John was talking about is just having the ability to attack the space whenever you win the ball in transition. You play the ball as early as you can, right back where you stole the ball from, and that way you can find that gap between the players. You can find that space behind the Rhinos defense and trying to create some chances. Truly, that's what it's all about.
John Wallenick, the USL Coach of the Year, as the Red Bulls won the regular season and a USL Cup final. A chance here, pulled just wide. Kenardo Forbes looking for his first goal of the season.
Great job by Forbes. He actually gets the ball out of the center mid. He plays the ball out wide. He gets a great return. I think he had enough time right here. Look at this ball on the ground. He had enough time to trap the ball. Try to go one time to the far post. And I tell you what, man, that was not far off right there. Good chance. Of course, the goalkeeper, Evan Lurie, was close by. But nonetheless, the fact that they're starting to connect in the middle, I like that from the Rhinos.
Forbes last year, 3 goals, 4 assists as he played all 30 regular season games. Below, Allen. And good strength from Joseph Farrell at the back for Rochester.
Dom coming out of the ball, coming out of the back with the ball. That's something that he's kind of used to it, but got to make sure he doesn't lose that ball once again in transition.
Tomas Gomez, a third-round pick by Columbus in 2015. This was spent part of that year with San Jose. Last year with Rochester, he was excellent. Just 11 goals against in 16 games last year, a 0.69 goals against average. Cleared away by Joseph Farrell. In midfield, and Dom. Red Bulls now attacking this left side. Bezecourt. Vincent Bezecourt to Allen. And you see 7 white shirts back for Rochester.
Yeah, no, great job by Rochester, getting back defensively, especially when they're playing defense, not so much when they have the ball. But, look at the Bezecourt trying to go through traffic, through the middle, doesn't quite get a shot off. And that's because Rochester's closing the space and the gap so quick. Even though Bezecourt could have taken a shot right outside the box, the space was close. Nothing for him to do than just try to dish the ball out for Allen on top, or even Lewis, who was making a run far post.
Arun Basulovic and Vincent Bezecourt both standing over this. Basulovic has had a very good start to this season after signing as a homegrown player with the first team in January. It's Basulovic to the top of the box, settled there, but well defended. Here comes Cristiano Francois, a native of Haiti. Couldn't pick out the right pass, though, as he was targeting Forbes.
Yeah, and that's when you get to see a little bit of the athleticism of Francois, just making a run to the outside, trying to play the through ball, looking for that 1-2. And I think Rochester, they need to connect the dots first before trying to go forward, and then you can have a little bit better of a chance. Great turn right here. That was Allen.
Allen's had a hard time finding freedom there. He's been flanked by both center backs. Felix and Farrell doing a good job against the center forward Allen.
Yeah, and what's Allen going to do? He's going to try to step in front, post up, dish the ball off, but the defenders from Rochester in the back, they're doing a good job. Farrell and Felix are stepping up as well, just winning that ball. Make sure he does not put his foot on the ball so he can turn with it or lay it off.
And a free kick for Red Bulls 2. Red Bulls started the season with a 3-3 draw against Pittsburgh. They beat Richmond Kickers at home 1-0. And 2 straight defeats, one at Harrisburg City, and then a 3-2 loss to St. Louis FC before bouncing back with a 3-1 win against Orlando City B last Friday. Rochester's played just 3 games this season, as we said, all away from home. A come from behind win against Bethlehem Steel 3-2 on opening day. They drew 0-0 at Toronto FC 2, and then, as we've discussed, the 5-0 loss against Charleston last Saturday.
Yeah, that's the one that hurt a little bit, and not only because the game, but also the score. I mean, that's really what I was aggravated, because You know, even Bob said it's a good thing it only counts for one game, and he's right. You know, it's time to rebound, and anybody can have a bad night, and I think that's what happened to Rochester that night.
Nutmeg from Forbes, but Red Bulls 2 wins it back. And then a whistle goes against Bradley Camden Fawo. Born in Paris, spent his youth in Calgary, and then 3 seasons at UNLV. Originally drafted by Colorado Rapids in 2016, but didn't sign.
Yeah, and see, the second one wasn't a foul, but the first one was definitely a foul because he's grabbing him. The referee just took a little bit too long to call it.
Put back in play by Red Bulls 2. That was Basulovic with the delivery. Felix forward for Rochester. Madison, some frustration towards Mike Garzi. As both center forwards haven't really made their imprint on this game. Allen for Red Bulls 2 and Madison for the Rhinos.
Yeah, you're right. I think both teams are actually keeping that gap so they can find him, you know, their true number 9, their target forward. They play the ball on the ground or in the air, and when you're not giving them the ball, it's almost like you're wasting a player. But once again, you got to give credit to the defense because their shape, they're always staggering someone. Either they're the front, one behind, so he can't get anything. If he's going to check to the ball, there's going to be a player in front of him. As we see one of the players from Rochester going down.
I think that's Bradley Camden Faywell, but we'll get a good look. See, he's looked at by the training staff of Rochester. Eddie Rodriguez, as he is looked at, what are your general thoughts on the opening half hour?
No, just a game that, as we see the replay here into that tackle, you see both players going for the ball, and I think it's when he came down. Might have rolled that ankle. I think he's actually complaining kind of an elbow to the, or a hand to the face. But, you know, no, Matt, just a team that I knew that the game was going to be tied. I just didn't expect it to be this tied. Normally when you have a tie game, at least you have some people making some runs down the line, making some crosses. But really haven't seen much of that. Both teams have been pretty even. And once again, the battle of this game is right there at center mid. If you can do that, if you can impose your style of play, then I think you're going to be successful and you create some chances.
Well, John Wolenick, we asked him about what his team needs to do to be successful tonight. And he said we have to match Rochester's mentality and physicality in the game. And after that, we have to take our chances. Good emotional control to put those chances away. Managing the game and stopping set pieces. Over the years, it's been a big size advantage for Rochester, an older team. And Rochester oftentimes, or New York Red Bulls too, I should say, using some academy players over the years. As we're going to have a restart, some instructions from our head referee, Jeff Gamble, and good sportsmanship as it's played all the way back to Evan Loro of Red Bulls 2.
Yeah, I know that's good sportsmanship right there. As you mentioned, they drop the ball, they kick it back to the goalie. But you're right as far as just the way you keep the concept of that team and just knowing what your long goal is. Don't forget about just the 3 games, the fact that you lost one really bad one to Charleston. But forget about the scores like that and just think about how many games you need to win. And if you need to win on the road, at home, any good team can just win home games. A great team can do it at home and away as well.
That was center back Joseph Farrell coming out of the back line, committing a foul against Vincent Bezecourt. Bezecourt from Maire-Sous-Lador, France, tied for second in the USL with 4 goals in 5 games this year. Now it's Bezecourt and Arun Basulovic standing over. They've been the co-pilot standing over much of these set pieces here in the first 35 minutes.
Yeah, Basulovic, a right-footed in-swinger, can put the ball far post or just dink it in the box. And of course,
it's Bezecourt into the middle. Still alive for Red Bulls 2. And it leads to a goal kick.
Bezecourt going the inside of the left foot in swinger. You know, that's a good ball though, right on the spot where you want it to be. You want the forward to make good contact with the ball, say yes to the ball so you can hit it down. But once again, the defense from the Rhinos are doing a good job just staggering those players. One in front, the other one right 5 yards next to you, and the other one to your right 5 yards. And now when you pull players, when you got to go outside or inside, you have that player behind you providing that coverage.
John Wallenick must be pretty pleased for Red Bulls too. That was one of the things he mentioned to us, set pieces and managing stoppages. I think Red Bulls have had the better set piece opportunities here in the first half. Dominant aerial header from Hassan Endom right there for Red Bulls 2. Nearly settled in midfield by Kenardo Forbes of Rochester, and he ends up winning a free kick just beyond the center circle.
And they won that because of the pressure they exert right away. As soon as the ball is lost, the closest to the player is going to go try to get it. And then the next one that comes in is going to provide that balance that we're talking about defensively. So you're not just sending numbers forward before you know it. It's a counterattack, and then you're done. Kind of defeats the purpose of trying to get one in the back of the net, right?
We had a good look there of Bradley Camden Faywell. Good to see him moving okay after maybe a hand to the eye or face. A stoppage earlier as Red Bulls 2 gets a throw-in on the far side. Justin Bilyeu out of St. Louis, Missouri, played for Scott Gallagher and then SIU Edwardsville. Second year with Red Bulls 2. Also played 3 first-team games with the Red Bulls last year. One of 6 Red Bulls first-team players on loan to Red Bulls 2 tonight. Here come the Rhinos through midfield. And good cover from David Najem, the right back for Red Bulls 2.
Yeah, Najem read that play well because he got there at the same time as both forwards. And, you know, when you have that much space, you can just play the ball into the space. And most of the time, the defenders would just kind of back up, thinking that they don't have the speed to get there. But just great job by Anna right there, just getting back.
DeFreger, we have not called his name too much, and it leads to a goal kick, but DeFreger had that opportunity. He's a New England kid from Guilford, New Hampshire.
And he's looking to get to the end line on that cross, you know. He's got that speed in the outside. Can he get there, just swing the ball, ping it to the far post.
Here comes Forbes. An opportunity here for the Rhinos, and it's skied high and wide. Darius Madison, his best chance of the first half.
Wow, the best chance for both teams, and what an opportunity for the Rhinos. Great ball into the top of the 18 right here. Once again, number 11, Forbes. Look at this. That's a sitter. Ball is coming down. Kind of a difficult ball to hit. However, when you're a forward, you are used to seeing those balls, Matt, all the time. You got to wait for the ball to come down. Once again, Darius Madison does not strike the ball properly. And that ball's still traveling, by the way. It has not come down to the parking lot.
A good use of the body initially to hold off David Abador. But then Madison.
And now the game turning a little chippy. You can tell just a couple of hard tackles in the middle. We know that's the kind of game we're going to see here. Both teams just very eager, to win those battles in the middle.
There's Wallfall pushing forward. Wallfall had the go-ahead goal in the second period of extra time last October at Red Bull Arena. That was a 3-2 lead for the Rhinos, but Red Bulls 2 got a late penalty a minute before the end of the second period of extra time. Brandon Allard converted it, and then the Red Bulls won on penalties. So Wallfall was about 10 minutes away from a game winner and a huge upset.
Yeah, that would have been huge, and of course the rest is history. But once again, give him credit. Now we see him get to the ball, and that's where I like to see him right there. Check to the ball, turn, play that through ball. He's the type of player who's good on the ball. You want your good technical players to be on the ball at all times.
Rhinos looking for their first goal since opening day. Shut out their last 2 games at Toronto and Charleston. Now space opening up here for Allen on the left side of the box. Pulls it back to his right, lays it back, but neither midfielder took charge.
Now Fernando Forbes with a counterattack going the other way for the Rhinos.
And a throw in for Rochester on the far side.
I think both teams not taking care of the ball as good as they should. once they build out of the back, they're finishing. They're actually missing that finishing touch in the attacking third. Of course, so elusive, so hard to do, because once you get to that spot, all the spaces get closed up. You're not going to have the freedom to turn, as they get a corner kick. He's the third one for the game for the Rhinos.
Good work down the right side for Ryan James. Winning the corner, James out of Bowling Green University, previously with the Toronto FC Academy. Now Forbes will take this corner kick. Less than 5 minutes left in regulation in this first half. Forbes with the delivery. And a clearing header from Justin Bilyeu. Red Bulls 2 cannot clear. Forbes stays onside. Red Bulls 2 does enough to clear. Metzger had the initial header for Red Bulls 2. Rhinos winning it again in midfield, and the offside flag goes up on the far side.
Yeah, Forbes gets called for the offside, and of course, the rule says it's when the center mid or whoever's playing the ball, it's when he makes contact with the ball, and at that time, I think Forbes was offside. Of course, now he's hanging up there the last few minutes of his first half, trying to get something going. He's had a couple of good crosses from the right.
Brian Dunn, the referee on that far side, making the call, the assistant referee. Bad turnover from Rochester. Can Red Bulls 2 take advantage? 4 against 5 for Red Bulls 2. Zico Lewis. Maybe a bit early with that attempt.
Yeah, too far from Lewis. He brings the ball down, with a left foot, and he had a couple options. He opted to take a shot from about 30 out, and it's a little bit too far. Tomas Gomez just on his line. He's going to take all those shots from 30 out, so you're not going to surprise him with a long-range shot. He's been pretty secure this first half.
Zico Lewis out of Boston College, number 17 overall by the Red Bulls in this year's draft. Had a school record 26 assists at Boston College. It was another big collision in midfield. Najem looks to be okay, the right back. Najem spent 2 years with FC Eintracht Bamberg 2010 in Germany's 4th division before coming home to the Red Bulls and signing with Red Bulls 2 last May. Guy that John Wallenick has known for a long time, coached him with the academy. And more dominance at the back from Hassan Endom, who has done it all for Red Bulls 2 here in the first half.
He's been on Endom, just getting to the ball at the right space, and then you can tell he takes that inside track. Doesn't allow the forward to make that touch to the inside so he can get to the byline and get across. Just good job with the way he pressures, the way he wins the ball, and he's been pretty solid in the back.
18-year-old Hassan Endom, part of the Cameroon under-20 national team. Below brought it down well. Red Bulls 2 looking for a late goal in this first half. Francois forward. Darius Madison. Forbes, great engine through midfield throughout this first half. Delivery back towards the top of the box, and a great save, Evan Loro. That was headed for the upper corner, but the former Wolverine palms it over for a corner kick.
I'll tell you, the best build-up for the Rochester Rhinos, just doing 1-2 on top of the 18. Forbes finally finds it right on top of the box. Look at this great cross right there. Garcia, and then Forbes looking to go top shelf. Great job by Ellen Laura, because that ball was going to find the back of the net for the Rhinos.
Loro spent last year with the Red Bulls under-23s, also 2 years before that in the U.S. under-17 residency in Bradenton. Moments from stoppage time. Headed out by Endom. And cleared again by Abador.
Referee only adding 1 minute of stoppage time. That's good. We haven't had too many set pieces, too many dead balls. Good job by the refereeing crew. Anytime we don't talk about the refs in a broadcast, that's a good crew right there. The type of referees that let the players play and pretty much let it be decided. Of course, if there's a hard tackle, they're there.
Good skill in midfield. Darius Madison. Rhinos here in the only minute of time added on. Red Bulls back in numbers. Kennardo Forbes working with Madison. Now on this right side, Francois pulls out Justin Bilyeu.
And Francois, when he was going to get that ball, he was running inside, so had he just stayed outside and held the width, he would have had time to cross it.
Chested down, an opportunity, and 1-0 Rochester! Mike Garzi on the final kick of the half. And the Rhinos take the lead here on opening night.
Great strike by Mike Garzi, just found the ball right outside the box and just unleashed the demons to make it 1-0 for the Rhinos. But once again, give him credit for the build-out, though. There's been twice, Forbes going down the line, a couple of crosses, and once again, watch this. Great job, by the center forward, Madison, who just lays it off, and Garzi does the rest to put up the Rhinos 1-0 in the first half.
Mike Garzi, one of the longest tenured Rhinos. It's his 4th season. He's one of the veterans on the team. And there we go, the halftime whistle from the referee. So it was the last kick of the half. And Eddie Rodriguez, your thoughts on the first 45 minutes?
Well, I'll tell you, the great thing about this is now you go into the locker room with a 1-0 lead when it was 0-0, just when you're going to go in, it was tight. This changes everything for the second half. Now the Red Bulls are going to have to try to push the lines to trying to equalize this, as we see DeGregor right there congratulating Garzi in a great, well-done strike.
And John Wallenick, the head coach for Red Bulls 2, having a few words with the referee crew. A great end to our first half from Rochester. 45 minutes in the books from Cabela's Sports Stadium. It's Rochester Rhinos 1.
Focus. It's hard to keep. Everybody wants a piece of you. So don't lose it. Take your time. Work hard. Don't give up. And when your moment comes, breathe through and focus.
Multiple concussions actually put people at risk for early dementia. It's kind of like Alzheimer's with a kind of paranoid, angry edge to it. So we've been trying to develop a blood test for concussion so we can say yes or no. You had a concussion, yes or no. Hopefully, early diagnosis equals early treatment and prevention of dementia down the line.
This is my comeback. It's not the story I had planned. But what's a game without opponents? What's an obstacle course without obstacles? What's life if you don't have stuff to overcome? Comebacks make you stronger. They make you tougher. They leave you with cool scars and awesome stories. Your injuries make you. Your setbacks define you. A broken bone is stronger than ever once it mends. So I may be down, but I'm not out, but I'm not through. I'm just writing a better story than I planned.
Share your comeback story. Visit urmedicine.org.
Opening night from Rochester, New York, and a halftime lead for the home side. It's Rhinos 1, New York Red Bulls 2, nothing. Here at halftime, Mike Garzi, a wonderful hit from about 22 yards out in the final play of the first half. With Eddie Rodriguez, I'm Matt Peterson. Fans enjoying opening night, the 22nd all-time home run opener in Rhinos history. And let's take a look at the first half stats, Eddie.
Being the best in their class.
Well, 10 total shots, a slight possession advantage for the Red Bulls. Not a lot to take from that.
Yeah, no, both teams pretty close. We kind of expected that. We've been talking about it throughout the broadcast. We expect both teams to possess the ball. It really is going to come down to, can you put your chances away? I think Rochester had two clear ones. The one earlier one, Darius Madison, not able to make good strike on the ball. But, of course, Mike Garcia took care of that in the last minute of this first half, just, you know, hitting the ball to the far post just with a great clinical finish, and that's how this game has been decided so far.
Well, Bob Lilly told us this week that he needs more goals, more production from his midfield. He got just that. After the missed chance from Darius Madison, the forward, Garza took his chance on the final play of the first half.
Yeah, no, you're right. You know, you talk about the midfielders just providing more firepower. You want to be able to connect, find the forwards, and if not, you got to take shots from the outside. That's what they did.
We'll take a break here at halftime. When we come back, we'll take a look at all the goals across USL from the last week. Halftime from Capelli Sports Stadium, 1-0 Rhinos.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars, innovative technology, and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
Was the lucky number this week, as 44 goals found the back of the net, with 4 players scoring at least 2 goals in the 4th week of the USL season. Let's take a quick look back at each one.
Flip throw again and fires it into the box. Ball comes down, setting up a bicycle kick, and it's in!
Ball in for Valesky, the touch, and there's the finish. The shot is in!
Fleming's cutting it back. Left-footed score! Silva on his left, playing it across. Dequa's header. Top of the box, great turn. Bezecourt with the right. 87th minute, they take it early. Wide open, Abidor.
The Santos Sutonu off his line, shot from distance, and it's in! Head toward the goal. And in! Bembo makes a move. Bembo! Bembo! The score! Is Williams.
Quick throw in though, and he's found Williams. Whoa, there's 3. It's a hat trick. Pushing forward from his defensive position. Swings it in. GB got a head on it. Go. NFC Cincinnati. There. Harrison Delbridge is a big target. Up to GB. He shoots and he scores. To Mitch. Here's a great opportunity. Corbin Bone into the box, across to GB, and a hat trick. Now it's Kenny Walker. And GB's calling for it. On to Walker, and GB has his 4th for the night. Banjo on the run. Has the angle, bang, side net. Davis, left-footed strike, he puts it in! The initial shot is saved, and then the follow-up.
Bends it in, right side to goal!
Glory, the shot, the save, the putback is in the net.
For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
Plenty of good goals across the USL in Week 4. It's Rochester 1, New York Red Bulls 2 at halftime. Mike Garza, the goal scorer in first half stoppage time. We'll come back with highlights from the first half right after this.
Multiple concussions actually put people at risk for early dementia. It's kind of like Alzheimer's with a kind of paranoid, angry edge to it. So we've been trying to develop a blood test for concussion so we can say yes or no. You had a concussion, yes or no. Hopefully, early diagnosis equals early treatment and prevention of dementia down the line.
Focus. It's hard to keep. Everybody wants a piece of you. So don't lose it. Take your time. Work hard. Don't give up. And when your moment comes, breathe through and focus.
This is my comeback. It's not the story I had planned. But what's a game without opponents? What's an obstacle course without obstacles? What's life if you don't have stuff to overcome? Comebacks make you stronger. They make you tougher. They leave you with cool scars and awesome stories. Your injuries make you. Your setbacks define you. A broken bone is stronger than ever once it mends. So I may be down, but I'm not out. I may be hurt, but I'm not through. I'm just writing a better story than I planned.
Share your comeback story. Visit urmedicine.org.
Right now, I got a question for you.
Welcome back to Cabela's Sports Stadium in Rochester with Eddie Rodriguez. I'm Matt Peterson. Eddie, an exciting first half, especially the end of it. Let's look at the highlights from the first 45 minutes on opening nights.
You know, Rhino started knocking the ball around, just playing. This is a great through ball. Looking to Besacourt, who crosses the ball a little bit behind. Good job defensively from the Rhinos. And on the other side, early in the game, the big man on top just to save the day, Asan Nadam. Just when Rhinos were knocking on the door. Another good chance right here from number 11, Forbes. Red Bulls, they were not able to get a lot of chances. This is probably one of the better chances of the first half for them. And once again, Vincent Besacourt not able to make good contact with the ball as Forbes started connecting, going forward. This is a great chance right here, great ball. And of course, Madison does not make good contact with the ball. That's pretty much the tell of the first half for both teams. Good switch right here from the Red Bulls. And once again, the long range shots were not going to work for them. That was Lewis, that left-footed shot. Forbes once again playing the ball out wide. And Forbes, this was a great chance looking for that near post. Great save by Leroux. And that's the one right there. What a strike to make it 1-0 by Mike Garcia right on the end of stoppage time right now at the 46th minute to put the Rochester Rhinos up 1-0. And that's how they went into the locker room, Matt. Just changes the whole perspective in the second half.
And the smile on his face says it all. Garza, 2 goals, 2 assists in 28 games last year. That's his first goal of this season. A New England product out of New Milford, Connecticut, went to Colgate University, and one of the veterans, Eddie, a veteran presence, one of the guys that Bob Lilly relies upon, and he has the goal on opening nights.
Well, he knows, Bob Lilly pretty well what he wants out of him, especially, production-wise going forward, and just with a great clinical finish. And that experience comes into play, especially in big games.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have second half kickoff from Rochester. The Rhinos holding a 1-0 lead.
This is my comeback. It's not the story I had planned. But what's a game without opponents? What's an obstacle course without obstacles? What's life if you don't have stuff to overcome? Comebacks make you stronger. They make you tougher. They leave you with cool scars and awesome stories. Your injuries make you. Your setbacks define you. A broken bone is stronger than ever once it mends. So I may be down, but I'm not out. I may be hurt, but I'm not through. I'm just writing a better story than I planned.
Share your comeback story. Visit urmedicine.org.
Multiple concussions actually put people at risk for early dementia. It's kind of like Alzheimer's with a kind of paranoid, angry edge to it. So we've been trying to develop a blood test for concussion so we can say yes or no. You had a concussion, yes or no. Hopefully, early diagnosis equals early treatment and prevention of dementia down the line.
Focus. It's hard to keep. Everybody wants a piece of you. So don't lose it. Take your time. Work hard. Don't give up. And when your moment comes, breathe through and focus.
Welcome back to Rochester with Eddie Rodriguez. I'm Matt Peterson. Closing in on the start of second half. So Eddie, you've been here before. What are the Red Bulls thinking after playing a pretty good first half on the road, but then suffering that punch to the gut from Mike Garza?
That's right. It just right at the end of that stoppage time, they get scored the 1-0. So this changes everything, and here's the reason why. So now you're trailing, you're playing away, you're not playing at home. So at some point, you're going to have to push the lines. You're going to have to go with, you're playing with 3 forwards, but you got to send the outside backs a little bit more. You're going to try to, get some more firepower, if you will, going forward, because what you've done, you really haven't had that many chances now for what he does for the Rhinos. They're up 1-0. They're going to continue to go forward. I know Bob Lilly pretty well, so he's going to want the 2 and the 3, especially your home opener. But that goal came right at the right time for the Rhinos, and for this game as well. Is going to bring up the intensity in the second half as well.
Here we go. The second half begins from Rochester. Rhinos 1, Red Bulls 2, scoreless. And an early touch for Canardo Forbes. Good skill from the Jamaican, but well defended by Red Bulls 2. An early service from Garcia. Another chance, another missed opportunity for Darius Madison.
Great job once again by Mike Garcia out wide, just pinging the ball to the far post. And you can probably blame this one on the turf, because if you look at the bounce, just a very difficult ball to hit, as Darius Madison hit the ball on the way up as opposed to hitting the ball on the way down. And once again, a difficult ball, but he's got to bring the ball down. If you don't have the angle to shoot on goal, you bring the ball down, lay it off the top of the 18. But once again, I like the fact that Rochester just came out right away from the get-go to try to score again.
And you see good strength from the captain, Justin Bilyeu, 23-year-old. Already played 3 games last year with the Red Bulls first team. He left back for Red Bulls 2. The other thing that Garzi's goal did, Eddie, is ended a bit of a scoring drought for Rochester. They'd gone 2 straight games without scoring, at Toronto FC 2 and at Charleston. So not going to the locker room for the 3rd straight halftime, commiserating about a lack of goals.
Yeah, and even Bob Lilly said it. You want to score goals, especially at home, especially in your home opener. And at the end of the day, it's what this game is all about, putting the ball in the back of the net. So it's great for the Rhinos to finally find the back of the net, even though they've been shut out twice in 2 games.
That was a good forward run from Zico Lewis. He was fouled by Joseph Farrell. Farrell, a USL All-League 2nd team pick last year, as we see Lewis.
Great job, by Zico Lewis out of the back, trying to weave in and out of traffic. 2 choices here. Basukulovic and the other choice, Besikor. I like that left-footed end swinger right there.
Well defended there. That was Wallfall standing in front of Endom. And a good claim at the back from Tomas Gomez. But that's one of the bigger physical matchups on the field, maybe the biggest. Wallfall, the 24-year-old German, against Hassan Endom, the 18-year-old from Cameroon. A lot of size between those two.
Yeah, no, it's going to come down to a good quality service into the box, giving a little bit of an advantage to the forward.
Now the Rhinos play it short. Gomez, after rolling it out, goes long. Good header one. Now is David Abador. And a clean challenge from the hip of Abador against Cristiano Francois.
Yeah, Francois did not like that call. Abador, right, with a good, body check, everything clean, and of course, Francois took the worst out of that tackle.
Francois, 2 years, University of Maryland, has played in Olympic qualifiers with the Haiti under-23s. Impressed in preseason and under contract. Now Red Bulls 2 seeking the equalizer. That's good work from Ryan Felix in his first year with Rochester. Last year, played with OC Blues, the last 2 years, in fact, and prior to that, a couple years with FC Tucson. And Mark Pulisic, the assistant coach with Rochester, was complimentary of him, saying he's very good on the ball as the ball is put in the area. Allen trying to find space. Allen on his left, and he pulls it even for Red Bulls 2. Brandon Allen, a hat trick in the USL Cup final last year, and he gets his 2nd here in 2017.
Great finish by Brandon Allen, because if you look, he was playing with the back against the goal just when you thought he did not have a chance. Great turn to his left foot, hits the ball to the far post, low on the ground, nothing. Tomas, watch this right here. He's battling with 2 defenders, a little bit of grabbing, holds onto that, firm, plays the ball to the outside, and just hits a low drive ball to the far post. Nothing Gomez could do. Great effort between 2 defenders. And at some point, if you're Rochester, you got to step in right there. Just not give him that negative ball. Make him play negative. And just like that, man, this game is 1-1.
Red Bulls 2 looking for another one right off the kickoff. Here's Allen to a late arriving Basulovic, and well defended in midfield. That was Felix who timed his tackle well right beyond the edge of the box. And now a foul at midfield goes against Abador.
Abador taking down Madison. Rochester Rhino forward. Once again, you see him check into the ball, and Abador just that extension of the right arm, it's what's called. It's okay if you put it up as long as you don't fully extend. And of course, the referee close enough, doing a good job calling it.
Well, Brandon Allen, a familiar foe for Rochester. They're sick of seeing him score. 2 goals against Rochester in the Eastern Conference semifinals last year, including the tying penalty in the 119th minute that erased the 3-2 deficit. And then he also converted a penalty in the shootout that sent Rochester home. A hat trick, as we said, in the USL Cup final, game in which he was named USL Cup final MVP. He was the Rookie of the Year in USL last year and also an MVP finalist. So about every accolade possible for Allen. And now his second here in 2017.
Just the life of a forward, of course, just when he was kind of quiet the first half. First couple of times he touches the ball, puts one in the back of the net to give, the Red Bulls 2 just a chance in this game as they're playing away against a pretty good defensive, Rhinos team.
And Eddie, we talked about Allen not being able to separate from the center backs in the first half. That's really the first chance he's had isolated in the box. He was patient, went to his left. I think he really was waiting for an opportunity like that to get 1-versus-1.
And I think that's the first time he got a ball like that to his feet, when even though he was turned. That's the post-up job of a number 9, a big guy who's going to hold the ball off. And, that's a great turn because you see two defenders from the Rhinos battling for space and to win the ball. He was able to hold them off, and then he took a great touch to his left foot, pinged the ball to the far post, and the rest is history.
You see Bill Yu clearing for New York. Here comes Rochester. Well defended. That's Velo shifting from the right to the left.
Yeah, you're not really going to beat Camden speed-wise, playing the ball into the space.
Cristiano Francois.
Great turn by Francois, looking once again for Madison in the far post.
And then good composure from David Najem, heading back to his goalkeeper, Evan Loro.
It seems like Madison is struggling a little bit just with the finishing and stuff, but he keeps getting chances, and I'll tell you what, man, he might convert in one of these right here. He's getting chance after chance. Not clear chances. A couple of those shots been, with a difficult, degree of execution, but nonetheless, he's getting the ball. So if you're the Red Bull defender, you got to figure out shut down that lane.
And out for a Red Bull throw-in. Last year, Allen, 15 goals and 4 assists. He was second in the USL. Only Sean Okoli had more goals. Allen signed a homegrown contract with the first team December of 2015, another academy product. Allen's out of Old Bridge, New Jersey. Then he went to Georgetown and went on to score 50 goals for the Hoyas. And Eddie, that's a sign of a good goal scorer. That was really his first chance of the night, and he took it.
Absolutely. You see the top quality goal scorers in the world, that they get 1 or 2 chances and they're able to capitalize right away. That's a great sign. If you play the percentages, that's huge on their part, of course. On the other side, if you think about, Darius Madison has had quite a few chances, 4 or 5, maybe not as clear as that, but you got to remember that Brandon Allen created that chance in the sense that he was able to hold off 2 defenders, not 1 but 2, able to take a great touch to his left foot and then just buried the ball to the far post.
There's David Najem back to his feet.
And that's what he brings to this team, just that physicality of just a big man, just winning the individual tackles right there, the 50-50 balls that we call. And you got to win those in the game. You got to make sure that you win those. When the team does that enough, then you're going to be successful on the field.
Hassan Endom will restart for Red Bulls 2. It was Mike Garzi opening the scoring, first minute of first half stoppage time, and then Brandon Allen 5 minutes into the second half, leveling things for Red Bulls 2. That's where we stand, 1-1. From Capelli Sports Stadium, opening night from Rochester. Red Bulls 2 looking for its second goal. Basulovic, well defended by Wallfall. Eddie, it's early to make an impression, but have you seen any tactical changes from these teams after halftime?
No, not yet. Yeah, you're right. It's a little bit early, and that's the reason why John, the coach from the Red Bulls, didn't make any changes yet. And look, he was able to tie up the game the first 5 minutes of the second half. I think we're going to wait a little bit longer to see not only men substitutions, but any type of tactical changes in the second half.
There's the goal scorer for Rochester, bursting through Mike Garzi. but in the end just too long. Picked up by Laura. Only 5 substitutes on the bench for Red Bulls 2. They've been dealing with some injuries, 4 on the injury report, and a few Red Bulls 2 players perhaps in the mix for the first team. There's Madison laying it off. Good tackle in the end by Endom, and that was important.
It was a great tackle because the forward from Rochester was getting ready to take that shot right there. Great timing, clean tackle, comes from behind. Once again, get credit for the big man, Hassan Nadam. And I like what Darius Madison finally did. He came, took the ball, played a great through ball. You can tell he's kind of getting a little bit more settled into the feeling of that number 9 spot, playing against a good, solid Red Bull defense.
Settled by Francois, pushed off the ball by Bilyeu. Red Bulls 2 in possession. Excellent passing here. Zico Lewis keeps it alive. Basulevic, Arun Basulevic. Wide left here. Here's Allen, the goal scorer. Bilyeu serving to the back post. What a chance! And it was Florian Velo.
And what a ball by Bilyeu, though. Just right on the money right here. Left-footed in-swinger. And Velo not able to make good contact with a left-foot in-swing. Good chance for the Red Bulls, though. Just when you thought they were going to capitalize on that chance, just not a good contact on the ball. I like the cross.
Bilyeu, the captain, 2 straight games for Red Bulls 2. Drafted number 18 overall by the Red Bulls last year. Another player on loan from the first team.
Game's live on my phone if you want to watch. Yes.
Out of SIU Edwardsville. Got pretty good size for an outside back. Justin Bilyeu. As you see David Abador hold his hand up. Abador 3 seasons at Dayton, 1 season at Creighton, and last year played for the Tulsa Roughnecks. Basulevic. Ballfall throwing his body around, a hard challenge right in front of our referee today. Now you see the bodies flying through midfield, Eddie.
Yeah, you see the physicality of this game. We knew it was going to be a tough game, especially in the middle. We keep talking about it. And, there's, to me, where this game is going to be decided. Of course, you got to score goals, but just the challenges and the battles you got to win right there to go forward and create some chances. Once again, you see that foul from behind that the referee close enough he calls. And Basulevic, another player from the Red Bulls who's been so, dynamic throughout the game. You see him all the time around the ball. And Ryan James has been kind of quiet. As of lately, the last 5-7 minutes, he's been getting more touches on the ball.
Basulevic started in the Red Bulls Academy, age 11, captain of several of those teams. He won the U16 Development Academy title and the U18 title. Francois at the end line pulls it back and cleared.
Great job by Francois, though, getting to the end line with a good cross. And you can tell he's about having success on that right side, taking players on. Second time he's taken Abador to the end line and winning that battle right there. So something the Red Bulls are going to have to change if that keeps happening. Francois is just pretty much having to go at them on that right side.
A good one here in Rochester. Rhinos 1, Red Bulls 1. Mike Garzi, the opening goal, just seconds before the halftime whistle, and then Brandon Allen, second leading scorer in USL last season, tying at 5 minutes into the second half, and a great layoff from the forward for Basulevic. But he was run down by Bradley Camden Fawo. Son Endom. Bilyeu. Good passing. Bezecourt with Allen. Allen tries a little clip ball. And good strength in midfield from Falwell.
Rebel finding some, space in the middle, knocking the ball around. the movement of the ball from the Red Bulls has been a lot better in the second half. They're not just waiting for the ball. They're making a run into space, trying to get that open space and collect the ball as well. They're a little more demanding. Just, you got to demand the ball when you check into that area, into that open area.
Over the hour mark. Opening night, Red Bulls looking for their first win ever against Rochester. They've beaten every other USL team that they've played, but 3 losses and 5 ties all time. Here's the ball played through. The flag is down. Allen nearly got to it first, and that was an all-or-nothing challenge from the Rochester goalkeeper, Tomas Gomez, and a clean one.
Great ball by Lewis, though. Sicko Lewis putting the big man on top. Right, the goalkeeper came out at the right time. Look at the ball right here. It's a great ball. Brandon Allen, the goalkeeper. Gomez comes out.
And now a free kick awarded to Red Bulls right beyond the edge of the area. Fall Wall is contesting the decision. Wall fall, I beg your pardon.
Yeah, this is not a good spot right here. Wall fall right here with a... I don't think there's contact right there. You can tell Fall is saying, no, I didn't even touch him. You can see by his reaction. This is a good chance for the Red Bulls, though.
Bezecourt drew the free kick.
And these are your choices. I like what your choices. A couple left-footed players. You have Allen. You have Velo. Vasulovic. And, of course, Amador, the left foot, as you see him, the captain right there. They're sorting things out. This is a chance where you want to capitalize. You want to make sure you hit the frame right there. Bezecourt just sorting out players.
And I always love this. When it's in this distance, everyone thinks they should take it.
Of course.
Who will it be? Who?
Every player is a playmaker when you're around that area.
4 options for Red Bulls, too. Now, looks like 3 as Allen walks away. He wants his second of the night. Bezecourt or Velo look most likely.
Yeah, Velo on the right foot, and Bezecourt on the left, and of course you always have Amador, the left fullback. It's actually Bilyeu. Bilyeu, the captain, another left-footed player.
Big chance for Red Bull 2. It's Velo, and he goes around the wall, and it's well handled by Tomas Gomez, who really held his ground, didn't cheat or guess. He reacted to it and didn't bobble.
No, it's a great job by Tomas Gomez, though. You can tell he's seen some film on the Red Bulls. He kind of knew where this play was going right there, as we see a foul right up there. Look at Valo going around the defense, looking for that far post. Gomez was right there, so there was no chance he was going to find that top shelf or even that corner at the bottom.
Rochester on the other end, and a cross is claimed by Evan Lauro. And a good win momentarily for Canardo Forbes, but now Red Bulls 2 on the break. Arun Basulovic, former Georgetown Hoya, waiting, working with Allen. Allen's been so much more involved in the second half, Eddie.
Huge difference, right, between the first half now and the second half. He's being, a lot more composed, shows to the ball, and of course, scoring a goal.
And now a loose ball for Red Bulls 2, and they put it home. A error at the back, goalkeeper and center back colliding.
Bezecourt with a goal. And just bad luck by the Rhinos. The goalkeeper, Gomez, comes out, collides with the defender. And Gomez drops the ball. Now he's saying, if I'm calling for the ball, then, the goalkeeper has the right away, especially if he's yelling behind you. The ball gets played into the box.
Right into Ryan Felix, who's had a good night tonight. Did not see his goalkeeper coming at all. And a difficult finish from Bezecourt, his 5th of the season. And for the moment, passing Romario Williams and tying Fall of FC Cincinnati.
I don't think Felix never saw Gomez come out, though. Just takes a hard hit to the head. Ryan Felix, that's not the way you want to give up a goal, especially a little bit of a miscommunication between the 2 Rhino players. Unlucky for them, and of course give credit to Bezecourt right outside the box to make it 2-1 for the Red Bulls.
He's still 1 behind Fall, I beg your pardon, who has 6 for FC Cincinnati. So Red Bulls, 2 goals in a 15-minute span here early in the second half to grab the lead. Now Francois crossing towards the back post, an opportunity. It's Garzi. pulled far and wide. Still in the area and cleared away by the Red Bulls. That wasn't Garzi, I beg your pardon. That was Stefan DeFreger on the far side. Game really opening up, Eddie, here in the second half.
Yeah, and DeFreger has been kind of quiet in the second half, but you're right, though. That's what happens. You're going to have that game when the things are going to open up. Now you have that huge lake in the middle of the field. And the question is, Matt, who can control that? Who's able to change the tempo of the game? Meaning that you decide when you go forward, when you keep the ball, when you play it side to side, east-west. The reason why you want to open up the field is so you can find those gaps, trying to find your number 9, your forwards on top.
Bezecourt last year, 6 goals in the regular season. He added 2 goals and 3 assists in 4 playoff games, but he's off to a roaring start now. 5 goals in 6 games. And give credit, Justin Bilyeu, the left back, he's had some great delivery in the second half, and that led to the scoring chance. Now Francois. And good save from Loro, who held his ground at the near post and denies Kennardo Forbes.
Forbes with a great run and with an even better delivery by Francois. It's pretty much a tap-in right there. Loro just with a great save. And once again, Francois has been having a field day on the right. Forbes not able to make great contact with the ball, just enough to put the ball right to the goalkeeper's hand. Evan Loro with a good save. He just stood him up. But once again, if you're the Red Bulls, you need to put somebody out wide who can take care of number 6. You know, he's been Cristiano Francois, just having a field day on the right. Gets to the inline every single time.
Kennardo Forbes with the corner kick, well cleared by the Red Bulls. Eddie, not many chances the first 40 minutes of this game, but this has been a very exciting second half.
Absolutely, the type of half you want to have against, you know, a team, a great home team in Rochester, and against a good team in Red Bulls. They come in here, and like I said, I like the fact they came out with 3 forwards. They weren't just going to come in here and just sit back and see, you know, wait for a free kick, a corner kick, and see what happens. They just went at it.
Rochester looking for the equalizer, an opportunity, and saved once again by Loro. That fell to Madison once more.
Madison and Forbes not able to communicate with a great chance right there. And once again, Rochester creating some chances. It's good news for Bob Lilly and the crew. Look at this great ball. Madison by himself doesn't pull the trigger. Forbes. And I think they must have hit each other a little bit.
Rochester, their own worst enemy on each end. That's the second time a big moment has come down with 2 players colliding and led to the Bezecourt goal. And that time it was Forbes. And Madison, as a yellow card is shown.
It's actually Basulovic from the Red Bulls getting the yellow card. He was grabbing Francois. Once again, Francois just having a field day on the right over here.
Arun Basulovic, 21-year-old, into the book. He's played every minute this season for Red Bulls 2 and has 1 assist. Last year, a star in the PDL with the U23s, a PDL All-Star, 8 goals, 5 assists. Rhinos looking for a breakthrough on this set piece from Kennardo Forbes, the Rochester captain in his 3rd year with the Rhinos. High looping delivery and a good punch at the back post from Evan Loro, who tracked it well.
Yeah, Forbes just put a little bit too much in that delivery. In swinger, just got a little bit under the ball, just a little bit, not much, because the ball stayed in bounds. But you want to drive that ball either to the penalty spot or, you know, if you're going to in swing it the way he did, you want to bring it out. So you want to invite the goalkeeper out. Of course, give an advantage to the forward who's just got to make contact with the ball, hopefully going in the back of the net.
Eddie, I like that initiative from Laura. A lot of goalkeepers let that go, let their defenders deal with it, but then it's a dangerous headed back. I like the effort to go past the post and punch it out for a throw-in.
Absolutely. You just got to make sure that the ball goes out regardless. And the fact that you have the advantage of using your hands.
Long throw-in from Camden Faywo, and a free kick drawn by Brandon Allen, who tied things up for Red Bulls 2 in the 50th minute before Bezecourt delivered Red Bulls 2 the lead 6 minutes ago.
Look at how deep Allen is collecting the ball. So we see the first sub right here for the Rhinos.
Jordan Dover checks in, the first sub for Bob Lilly and the Rhinos. He's from Ajax, Ontario. and then went to University of Wisconsin, Green Bay. Last year played in the League One Ontario, a semi-pro league for Durham United. This is his first pro team. His third appearance overall, the 22-year-old off the bench.
Well, I'm sure Bob Lilly's going to try to get some width, and Jordan try to get some crosses. Defriger had a good first half, and the second half kind of a quiet second half.
Defriger, the man who came off. Then last couple years with Wilmington Hammerheads. Rebels 2 with all 3 substitutes available for John Wolinick. Great passing here from the Rhinos. A good recovery tackle in midfield. That was Dan Metzger, another homegrown player down from the first team after signing his homegrown deal in January.
And it's great to see all this, players who've been brought up from the academy, and just to see now they're playing in the USL, and subsequently, of course, what you want is to make it to the MLS and hopefully to the national team as well. That just, says a lot about our youth system and the roots of this, or the game where it's at now compared to where I played, where there was no really youth system. It was just kind of like if you played high school, good college career, but, the Red Bulls Academy, you have, players that they've been there since they were 11. In the case of Hassan Nadam, now playing in the USL and, looking to make the change to the Red Bulls, the MLS franchise. So that's great to see.
Red Bulls 2 have always invested in their academy, going back to the Metro Stars days before the ownership change. Such a rich talent pool in the New York metro area. But Rochester has their own academy, and a big part of soccer in upstate New York. A great run that time from Cristiano Francois, who's been electric on the right side in the second half.
I'm telling you, man, he's been on for the Rhinos. Once again, he just split the 3 defenders. Unfortunately, right at the end, he lost track of the ball, looking to make contact with his left foot. But once again, he's just been unstoppable. He's definitely been a game changer for the Rhinos, but you got to find a way for him to either cross the ball or just hit the ball to the far post, because you got to tie up this game.
Zico Lewis back to Hassan and Dom. Chance here for Rochester on the break. The goal scorer, Mike Garzi, on this right side. Hit it strong. Bradley Camden Faywo. A few step overs and good patient defending, David Najem. Najem, a 4-time All-Ivy League selection at Columbia. First team as a senior. He has a long relationship with John Wolniak going back to his academy days.
Rhinos looking to find once again Francois out wide. A bit of a sloppy play in the last couple of minutes here. Both teams just trying to keep possession of the ball and trying to make something happen.
Eddie, going back to our conversation with John Wolinick, one of the things he emphasized was them taking their chances, and I think that's the difference really in this game. The chances for Brandon Allen and Bezecourt, 2 of the few for the Red Bulls on the night, whereas Rochester has had more golden chances, including 2 for Darius Madison, that he didn't hit the target with. So that's one of the differences for me in this game, is just taking advantage of these chances.
No, absolutely. You talk about the difference between, taking care of their chances as well, and that's been the difference in this game. Not many chances for the Red Bulls, but the ones they've had, they were able to capitalize. And the Rhinos, they're kind of letting a few of those go away. And at the end of the game, you're not going to keep getting chances if you don't take care of the ones you have. So we see the first substitution here for the Red Bulls.
Zico Lewis is coming off, and he'll take his time, milking the clock in the 77th minute. Junior Flemings comes on, a big prospect for Jamaica. He's 21 years of age. And Eddie, at times last year, he was one of the best players for Red Bulls too. Had to deal with some injuries, but he was part of Jamaica's preliminary Copa America squad last year at age 20, and he's been a regular for the under 17s, 20s, and under 23s for the Reggae Boys.
Well, and this is when you think about making a smart substitution, you bring a forward out, you know, and you bring in an extra center mid, an extra midfielder. So now you're going to play with that 4-4-2, try to keep the score, knowing that you don't have to go forward, knowing, Matt, that you haven't created many chances. Yeah, you were able to capitalize on the ones you had. However, you don't have to go forward. You can manage the time, you can manage the game as well with a 2-1 score in your favor.
Flemings previously played for Tivoli Gardens in Jamaica. Last year, a really productive season. 7 goals, 4 assists. And he scored his first goal of the season last Friday in the 3-1 win against Orlando City B. Now Allen trying to settle it at the top of the box, bouncing. Allen wide right. There's 5 in the box for Najem. A service to the back post and an early chance for Junior Flemings just onto the field, just beyond him.
Yeah, Junior Flemings has got that big frame. He's trying to make contact with the ball, far post. The ball just sailed a little bit wide. I think that was a sub forward for a forward, as we see 2 other Rochester Rhinos subs.
Johan Graff will come in, along with Jalen Brown. As you see, Darius Madison coming off. And Bradley Camden Faywo. So Madison and Camden Faywo both come off. Johan Graff and Jalen Brown come on. Bob Lilly now out of changes as Dover came on earlier.
Yeah, and for Bob Lilly now the choices are you got to go with 3-4. I mean, with at least 2 forwards. He was playing with 1. That was the case, of course, with Darius Madison. So now you got to create some chances on top. Definitely got to bring an extra forward, even with 2. Give your team a chance to try to create some chances in the last 12 minutes of this game here.
Eddie, can you assess the 79-minute shift for Darius Madison, the center forward for Rochester?
Yeah, I mean, he had some good chances, make some good runs. However, just not very clinical when it came down to finishing. He could have done better in a couple of those chances. Overall, I think it's a good performance because it's tough to play by yourself on top when you're the one striker, the number 9. So, but I think he could have just done a little bit better in just some of those strikes at goal when he had a couple of good chances.
2-1, Red Bulls 2 leading in the 80th minute from Cabelli Sports Stadium in Rochester, New York, with Eddie Rodriguez, a former player in MLS and Liga MX. I'm Matt Peterson. And too much in that tackle from Hassan Endam. Francois asking for a card, and it comes out. So the 18-year-old Cameroonian Endam into the book.
Great job by Francois just pulling that card, though, because he goes to the linesman and the ref. Hey, that's the 4th time I've been taken down. And I'll tell you what, he's right. They've been just, he's been just on a tear on that right side. Finally, Hassan Nadam had enough. As we call him, Vic, the cleaner in the back. When you clean everything. Forbes with a good chance right here for the Rhinos. In swinger.
Forbes, the captain, who's been all over the field tonight for the Rhinos, and you can see him asking for the runs. Low cross, cleared by Arun Basulovic.
Yeah, once again, the captain did not make good contact with the ball. A player down for, I think it's Junior Flemings from the Red Bulls. See right here, yeah, I think he just got kid in the stomach with a ball by Jordan Dover.
Some background on these substitutes. Johan Graf's 27 out of Double Oak, Texas. His first year with Rochester, last 3 seasons in Sweden. And Coach Bob Lilly said he's a grinder. He's going to work defenders, fight for every ball. So Graf, one of the late substitutes. Jalen Browns from Indianapolis, played at Xavier University, was a 2nd-round pick by New York City FC this year, but didn't sign. And he signed with Rochester in March. Tonight's his 3rd appearance, a 22-year-old. Put back in play by Evan Loro. Ball settles after appeals for handball from Red Bull's 2 players. And Eddie, John Wallenick and the Red Bull 2 coaching staff has to be pleased with the response from their team after a very difficult ending to the first half on the excellent goal from Mike Garzi of Rochester.
No, for sure. They're, a team that just grind and the kept, they gave themselves a chance. They kept playing the ball. They kept looking for space, and they were able to capitalize in the first 5 minutes of the second half. And before you know it, great second goal right here for the Red Bulls, and now they're on top. And now they get to play with the clock and, of course, with the scoreboard. So now it's really up to them to manage this game right here.
Rochester. Some great chances, too, for Darius Madison, but both bouncing on the turf here and both ending up in the seats behind the goal.
And, of course, that's something John Wallenick is going to be able to do here, just manage the time. The fact that he's got all the experience as a player as well gives him that experience, knowing, been in this situation before. What do you do in the last 8+ minutes, depending on stoppage times? How do you control the game, the tempo of the game? When do you go forward? When do you attack, or are you just going to sit back and knock the ball around? Switch your point of attack, and if it's on your play, if not, you're just going to sit back and really melt the clock.
That foul against Johan Graf. Played at SMU and Bradley University. His 4th appearance this season. The other chance that went begging for Rochester, Eddie, was one that fell to both Darius Madison and Kenardo Forbes, and the 2 both went for it, basically kicked each other.
And I think that was the most clear chance for the Rhinos. I think that could have changed the game, because if you think about it, that would have been the 2-2 right there, just with a clear chance. Miscommunication. Forbes had the right of way, I think, and then Darius Madison tried to make contact with the turf, subsequently with Forbes' legs, and just another wasted chance for the Rochester Rhinos.
And you can understand Darius Madison, those 2 missed chances early. He wants to score so bad, trying anything to get on the score sheet. Didn't see his teammate coming from midfield.
That's a great point you bring up as a forward, and when things are not really going your way, you're going to try anything and everything to find the back of the net. And I think that was the case with Darius Madison, trying to just get to the ball and try to make contact with the ball. And of course, I don't think he had a full vision of Kenardo Forbes just going forward.
They stalemate in midfield, and it falls back to Jordan Dover, the Rochester substitute. Endless running tonight from Kenardo Forbes. Cannot keep it on this near side. It's a Red Bull throw-in now in the 86th minute. Well, still a lot of time left, Eddie, but this would be the first ever win in regulation for the Red Bulls against Rochester. Rochester 3-0-5 all time against Red Bulls 2.
Yeah, and I think that was one of the things that Coach John Wallenick wanted to do, just come into this venue, especially playing away from home, and just try to beat the Rhinos just straight up. In regulation time, get that that nail, if you will, just off your back, knowing that, because you get that mental block, right, no matter what, we're going to lose to this team. Well, that's not the case. Once again, I keep talking about the fact that he came out with 3 forwards from right off the bat, and I like that.
Well, good work from Bezecourt, who right now has the game winner, and then a yellow card shown. Frustration from Ryan Felix. Felix had a very smooth first half, the former Royal Marymount player, but he collided with his goalkeeper, Tomas Gomez. The ball spilled to Bezecourt, and here, a left-footed challenge, isolated on the wing, and Felix did not like the call for the far side referee.
I got to tell you, I don't like the call either. There just wasn't enough contact. You got to give credit to Besicor. He did a good job selling it. However, there wasn't enough contact for me to, call the foul, especially late in this game, giving the Red Bulls a lot more time on the ball and milking the clock. And now a good chance right here. Besicor with a left-footed in-swinger. And, of course, on the right you have Basulovic, who's got a pretty good right foot.
Besicor with his left, good clearing header from Joseph Farrell. Can Rochester break? No, they cannot. Good pressure applied in midfield. And now Rochester wins back. It was initially won by Dan Metzger of Red Bulls 2. Here comes Cristiano Francois. Francois, the Haitian, in on goal. A header at the back post, but it's wide. A chance there for Johan Groff off the substitutes bench. And I think it was cleared, a corner kick now, so not directly wide, but deflected.
I think it was Najem, the Red Bulls defender, who got a piece of that corner kick for the Rhinos. But once again, great job by Francois, Cristiano Francois, getting to the end line. I thought his touch could have been better towards the goal. He took a touch to the outside.
And Dom with an important header. He's been a beast back there tonight for Red Bulls too.
Once again, Francois, see this touch right there? That touch should have been towards the goal. So now he's got no angle to go to goal. Crossing the ball, that's a very difficult ball to head because that's a driven ball. And actually that was Vincent Besicor, far post, making the good defensive play in the back for the Red Bulls.
It's what every coach would want to see, the goal scorer and the possible winning goal, then tracking back on defense.
Cristiano Francois, definitely the best player, the most effective player in this game, I should say, from the Rhinos. He's had at least 3 to 4 great runs into the box with great chances.
Good pullback from Ryan James. Now Rhinos looking to push forward on the left side. And James will quickly take this throw in, a former Toronto FC Academy product. 89th minute, Allen still pushing forward. Throws his body into Dover, and the substitute does well defensively.
Yeah, that's not one race he's going to win. He's most of a post-up forward rather than, a breakaway forward with lots of speed, but he does so well on the ball, keeping it. Playing that negative ball, here comes Flemings.
Flemings, a good patient run, and he sets it up on his right foot, but in the end, an easy claim for Tomas Gomez. I mentioned Besicor. Now he has the go-ahead goal. He, like Allen, in the memories of Rochester from last year's playoff loss, Besicor assisted on Derek Etienne Jr.'s opening goal in the Red Bull playoff win. So Besicor and Allen picking up where they left off last October against Rochester.
Abidor calling for an offside, where he finally calls it. And you're right, though, picking up where they left off last year, meaning that they're going to come back and try to take it to the Rhinos again. Just doing a good job just getting on the scoring sheet, but once again, just playing good quality soccer.
Well, here we are entering second half stoppage time. Eddie Rodriguez, did anything change for Rochester for you in the second half? They had the momentum, they had the lead at home. Have you seen anything different from them in this 45 minutes after the opening interval?
No, I think Bob Lilly did a good job just bringing fresh legs. After we see this injury here, fresh legs, especially our right, and trying to get some legs into the box. He was having, and he still is having success with Cristiano Francois getting to the end line. So I think for them it's just a matter of they haven't been able to connect and not able to just finish their chances. That really has been the difference in this game because, as you and I mentioned earlier, the Red Bulls, they haven't had a ton of chances, but the ones they've had, they were able to capitalize.
That was Najem receiving some treatment. He looked to be okay.
Entering match number 36, Andrew Tenari, replacing number 37,
So Najem actually exits the game. I beg your pardon. And Andrew Tenari steps on out of Holbrook, New York, and another player from Columbia University on this Red Bull 2 side. signed with Red Bulls 2 in March. First team All-Ivy League 3 straight years after he was the Ivy League Rookie of the Year.
3 minutes of stoppage time in this game right here. Bezecourt taken down. Velo on the ball now. Velo with a foul.
Well, John Wallenick told us that the performance against Orlando City B was the most complete performance of the year. They did a lot of things well, and this second half's been excellent for Red Bulls 2. And there's a hard challenge from Justin Bilyeu, and now a late set piece. And now we see 5 fingers held up from Cristiano Francois as Justin Bilyeu goes into the book.
Yeah, Bilyeu with a tackle, but you can tell, watch the ball. If he's made contact with the ball, there's no foul. And there's the contact with the ball. He got a little bit of the player, though, but that's not a foul. That's what we call a challenge. Referee close enough. He calls it anyway.
The set piece is delivered, and Bilyeu atoning in some ways with a clearing header. Less than a minute left for Rochester. It's put in the mix by James. A chance here for the Rhinos, and it's pulled wide by Wallfall.
Wallfall with a great chance inside the 18. Tries to hit that ball with the outside of his right foot. That should have been a left-footed shot. And now the Red Bulls trying to really just kill the clock for the remaining of those 3 minutes of stoppage time.
It's going to be Tim Schmoll entering the match for Bezecourt, who right now has the game winner. Schmoll from Koppet, Switzerland, played at Harvard University. This is his 5th appearance this year. Good size, 6'6", 23-year-olds. We are beyond the 3 minutes of time added on. Referee Jeff Gamble not checking his watch just yet. And now another free kick for Rochester. We'll see if they go long or play it short. They will get the big guys forward and put it back in the mix. This could be the final play of the game. Put in the mix by Forbes. And it's headed into the back of the net! A late equalizer! Joseph Farrell, the center back, he got forward for the final kick of the game. And the 23-year-olds get some sense of redemption after last year's playoff loss. The Rhinos, 4 minutes into second half stoppage time, one of the most unlikely of levelers.
Great service by Forst out of the back, and Farrell dots the race, just stepping in front of Evan Leroux. Beats him to the ball with a great finish to make this a 2-2 game just when you thought the game was over. Now we're saying, and right there's the final whistle. And the Red Bulls cannot believe this. Just in the last play of the game, Farrell makes it 2-2 for the Rochester Rhinos.
Red Bulls 2 seconds away from their first ever regulation victory over Rochester. A somewhat innocuous foul at the center circle. And who knows, if Rochester played that quickly, it may not lead to a goal. You see bodies on the field for Red Bulls 2, but they took an extra second, got the players forward, including Farrell, and they capitalized on the set piece, something that John Wallenick emphasized would be a priority. We have a lot to talk about. We'll come back after this short break. Full time from Rochester, 2-2.
This is my comeback. It's not the story I had planned. But what's a game without opponents? What's an obstacle course without obstacles? What's life if you don't have stuff to overcome? Comebacks make you stronger. They make you tougher. They leave you with cool scars and awesome stories. Your injuries make you. Your setbacks define you. A broken bone is stronger than ever once it mends. So I may be down, but I'm not out. I may be hurt, but I'm not through. I'm just writing a better story than I planned.
Share your comeback story. Visit urmedicine.org.
Focus. It's hard to keep. Everybody wants a piece of you. So don't lose it. Take your time. Work hard. Don't give up.
Fans, be sure to join us for tonight's official.
Welcome back to Rochester.
At the street at the Genesee
An unbelievable finish to the 22nd home opener in Rochester history. Eddie Rodriguez, your thoughts on that one?
Well, I got to tell you, you got to give credit to Bob Lilly and the whole entire team from hanging in there and not giving up all the way till the 94th minute. Just when you think about it, just very innocuous foul right outside, their own box. And the ball is sent to the box for the 2-2.
Well, here's the first half highlight, starting with the first chance for Kenardo Forbes.
Forbes looking to go far post once again. He's won all over the place. This is a great ball from Forbes right into Madison, who doesn't make good contact with the ball. The Red Bulls from the other side coming back. 1-2, and Lewis, just a shot from about 25 out. Forbes once again plays the ball out wide. Forbes looking to go top shelf. Great save by the goalkeeper right there, Leroux. And this is the 1-0 game right before the half. That was Mike Garcia.
Fourth year with Rochester, one of the longest tenured on the team.
And the second half right here. Look at Allen holding out the big man. Goes far post, making it 1-1 for the Red Bulls. Tying up the game all by himself. Great turn, holding out two defenders. And Gomez could not believe the luck.
His second of the year after 15 last year.
This is Madison once again zigzagging between defenders. Gomez right here colliding, and Bessicor making it 2-1 for the Red Bulls. A bad collision between that defender, and of course that was Ryan Felix, and Gomez, the goalkeeper. Bessicor taking advantage of that, making it 2-1 for the Red Bulls. And how about Francois? He was just having a field day out wide, making some great runs. This is one of his better chances. Gets to the inline once again. Not the best touch right here. Away from the goal. Far post. Nobody there to clean it up. The ball went for a corner kick. And just when the game was over in the 94th minute, once again the big man on top, Joseph Farrell, to make it 2-2 for the Rhinos. And just breaking this game, a 2-2, both teams going with at least a point into the season.
Rochester scoring on the final kick of each half. Mike Garza in the first half, Joseph Farrell, a Rookie of the Year finalist last year, 5 goals last season on the final kick off the boot of the captain, Kenardo Forbes, and a happy opening night from Rochester. For Eddie Rodriguez, I am Matt Peterson. Final score from Cabela's Sports Stadium, it's the Rochester Rhinos 2, New York Red Bulls 2-2. Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.